Hey, it's Mr. McFarland. We are going to look at a program called Inkscape today and go over some of the basics of how to use this program. This program, unlike Photoshop or GIMP, which you may have used in the past, is a vector-based art program. And what that means is, as the things you make when you zoom in on them, you'll see that they aren't made of pixels. Now your screen displays them as pixels, but if I say make a circle here, and I zoom in on it, you'll see that I never get to a point where it's like a jagged edge of pixels. And that's because this program uses what are called vectors. And vectors are just made up of math, and it's constantly recalculating the image to be shown here so that it's always smooth. This can be really nice for a lot of things. We use it for doing laser cuts and doing CNC router jobs, cutting stickers, but it's also just a really great program to make some art in. If you want some really nice clean lines on your work, and if you want to resize them, make posters, banners, giant things, great program for that. Let's look at some of the basics here. So you'll see that I have kind of a workspace here, and if I want to change that workspace area, and this is probably the first thing I would do if I was starting a project, go to File, Document Properties, and I'm going to change the units to inches, and let's say maybe I want to work on a wooden laser cut that's going to be maybe 6 inches by 6 inches. So I'll go ahead and put that in here. There's no save or OK button, you just click the X, and you'll see that my workspace is sized down to a square, changed a bit. I'll go ahead and get rid of this circle that I was using. I just clicked on it and pressed the delete button there. Okay, so let's start with kind of how we can move our view around here. If I hold the Control key and roll a mouse wheel in and out, I can zoom in and out on my work here. I could also use the magnifier button to zoom in or out if I don't have a mouse handy. Left click is to zoom in, right click to zoom out. If I hold the Shift button and roll the mouse wheel, I can get my view to go left and right. Or if I just roll the mouse wheel without any button pressed, I can go up and down. Over here you might see some tools that are pretty familiar from different drawing programs. For example, we can create squares or rectangles, we can create circles. There are tools for stars, or we can switch it up here to a polygon. We can change the number of corners on it. And you'll see that mine are all coming out the same color. How might we change the color of something? Well, I'll select the thing that I want to change the color of here. And you'll see these colors down at the bottom. Let's say I want maybe a yellow shape here. I will just click on the yellow button and it will fill in with yellow. So whatever one I click in, it's going to fill with that color. Now let's say you wanted just an outline of a shape. How would you do that? Well, I'm going to shift click on a color. So maybe I want a blue outline. I'll shift click on that color. And you can see here that it now has an outline around it. Well, now maybe I want to get rid of the fill color here. I can also do that by clicking on the first one here that's like an X, just to the left of the black. If I click that, now I've just got an outline. Outlines are really what we're going to be working on a lot in this class, because an outline is able to be followed by a machine, such as a laser cutter, or sticker vinyl cutter, CNC router. They can follow these paths around the outside. Let's take a look at a couple other tools here. For example, here's the text one. I can draw a box. I can type some text. And of course I can change lots of things about it, the font, the size, kind of the spacing between lines here, and a lot of other options along the top that you can explore if you'd like. I can also change the color of text the same way. Left click to change the fill, shift click to change the outline. You can make it bigger, and again you'll notice, oh, it's really nice, it's got nice edges, not becoming pixelated at all. That's great. Maybe we want a more specific color than the ones being shown here, and we can go down to here, fill and stroke color, and click on the different colors down here, and this pops out from the side. Got fill and stroke, and I can get a lot more detailed with what types of colors I want here, changing the different ones. This is the alpha, so this is how transparent it might be. If I drag it over something, you can see a bit of what's underneath it here on the edge. Here I can change the fill color. So lots of options there. Last thing I want to show you here is that you can use layers in this program. So if I go up to the layer menu here and I do the very last option here, layers, I can add new layers, and I can draw things on those layers, and I can turn off layers so that I can just see what I want on certain layers. This might be useful for organizing a more complex project with multiple layers. I think that's all for this video.